Hello, I welcome all of you to the new class of yours, that is class 7, and also welcome you to the digital class of our school. So, today I'm going to teach you the first chapter of English Honeycomb book, and the chapter name is Three Questions. So, my dear students, open your English Honeycomb book, page number 7. And before listening the audio, you must have read the chapter carefully to understand it clearly. So now let us start the chapter. The thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew the answer of knew three things. So a certain king thought that if he knew three things, he would never fail in his life. And what were the three things? The three things were first, the first thing was what is the right time to begin something? That means what time is the right time to begin something, that means some work or some important thing. And the second question was which people should he listen to, and the third question is what is the most important thing for him to do. That means this, if he knew the answer of these three questions, he would never fail in his life anywhere or from anyone. So in the second paragraph, the king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these three questions. So the king sent the messengers of his court to the different corner of his kingdom to get the answer of these questions. In the third paragraph, many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his question differently. As we know, if there is a lot of wise person, they will answer their questions differently. So that happened to the king. The wise person came from the different part of the country, answered their questions differently, and by what the king got confused. In the fourth paragraph, in reply to the first question, some said the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. So the king, the answer to the first question, the wise persons answered that the king should prepare a timetable by which he can begin the works or begin anything by seeing the timetable. And others said only in this way, they said, could he do everything at its proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. So the other wise person said, how can the king know the things which will be happen in future? So the timetable must not be work. The king should notice all that was going on, avoid foolish pleasures, and always do whatever seemed necessary at that time. So the king should notice all the things and avoid the foolish pleasures by by preparing the timetable. So he had to do whatever seemed necessary at the time of the action. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men would help him. The others said that the king needed a council who the wise persons also said the answer to the question that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him act at the proper time. So this was because one man would find it impossible to decide correctly without the help from the others, the right time for every action. So the king need a council of wise men who would suggest him to do the proper action or proper time to do the action. In the next paragraph, but then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. These things could not wait for the decision of the council. So there, as you know, there are some important or urgent work, urgent actions which cannot be wait for the others. Or how can the the other wise persons replied to the answer of the wise persons that how could the king get the decision from the wise council group in an urgent action. So it failed. These things could not wait for the decision of the council. In order to decide the right time to doing something, it is necessary to look into the future, and the only magicians could do that. The king therefore would have to go to the magicians. So in order to do this type of activity, the king should go to the future, and it can only be done by the magicians. And so some of the persons suggest the name of the magicians. In the next paragraph, in their answer to the second question, some said that the people most necessary to the king were his counselors, others said the priest, and a few others chose the doctors, and 8 others said that his soldiers were the most necessary. In the second question was that who is the most important person for the king to obey or to follow. The wise persons gave the answer to this question that the king, the most important person, some of them choose the doctors, some of choose the priests, and some of choose the people most necessary. Some of choose the counselors, and 8 others said the soldiers were the most necessary. And to the third question, some said science, others said fighting, and 8 others religious worship. So, like this, the answers of these 3 questions, of the 3 questions of the king, varied to the wise person's suggestion. So the king did not satisfy with the answer which has come from the wise persons who had came from the different part of his kingdom. So my dear students, we will read the next part tomorrow. So till then, be safe, be happy, and if there is any problem, you can contact me with my WhatsApp number or my mobile number.